Any patients in the room who would like to show their support by standing up here with us in front of the press, please come up and join us now. For being here.
Absolutely. Everybody, I'm Henry Wykowski. I'm an attorney that represents Haborside Health Center. And I would like to begin by telling you what the program is going to be today. I am going to make some brief opening comments, and then Steve D'Angelo, the founder of Harborside, will make a statement. We will then have Dan Rush of the UFCW read a statement from Barbara Lee, who, because of other commitments, was not able to appear personally today. Alan LaFazio of the Board of BOE will make a statement on behalf of that entity. Barbara Parker, the city attorney for Oakland, will make a statement. Rebecca Kaplan, from the city council member of Oakland, will then make a statement. And at that point, we will take questions from the press so that they may leave and return to their schedules, which they interrupted on short notice to assist us here today. We're here today to alert the public to the recent action by the Department of Justice in seeking forfeiture of the buildings where Harborside Health Center operates its medical cannabis dispensaries in Oakland and San Jose. Why that is wrong, and the consequences of this action if it is not abandoned. Harborside operates in compliance with state law. It provides medical marijuana to numerous needy and deserving patients. The Attorney General of the United States, whose quotes we brought but are now not visible because of the number of patients that wanted to appear and show their support today. The Attorney General testified recently, as he has in the past, that the Department of Justice's policy is to limit its enforcement efforts to dispensaries that are not in compliance with state law. Harborside is, was, and always will be in compliance with such laws. Harborside and its patients relied on these statements by the Attorney General, which have also been stated by the President, and the Department of Justice knows it. When the IRS wanted to audit Harborside Health Center, its agents came. We let them come in. We let them inspect the premises. We gave them a tour, and we allowed them to see all of our records, because Harborside runs a transparent operation. After reviewing everything that they wanted to see and closely examining the records, the Internal Revenue Service concluded that Harborside's books and records and the figures that were reported on its amended returns were all accurate. The only matter in dispute was the deductibility of certain business expenses under Internal Revenue Code Section 280E, and we are addressing that issue in the tax court. When confronted with the facts that Harborside is operating a legal business in compliance with state law and in accordance with the Attorney General's and the President's statements, the Department of Justice yesterday released a press statement conceding that Harborside was in compliance with state law and attempted to justify its action by calling Harborside a marijuana superstore. arguing that the larger the operation, the greater likelihood for abuse of the state's marijuana laws, and that medical marijuana would be placed in the hands of individuals who do not have a demonstrated medical need. They didn't allege any wrongdoing. They were alleging that Harborside was targeted because of its size, and that amounts to an abuse of discretion. First, nobody gets into Harborside without a state-approved recommendation from a licensed physician, which is verified, and the Department of Justice knows that. Second, it is Harborside's size that allows it to dispense marijuana exactly how the law intended. It is clean. It is well policed. It is able to provide quality products that are tested to ensure their quality to the patients who are its members. In addition to that, it provides numerous health and holistic services. Harborside is a model dispensary and should be allowed to remain open. We invite the U.S. Attorney, Belinda Haig, to come and tour our facility. We invite the Attorney General to come and tour our facility. And anybody else from the Department of Justice who would like to come, just let us know, and we will show you what we're doing. Now, in addressing this current misguided action, Harborside intends to rely on the judicial system and those within the Department of Justice with the integrity to honor the guidelines set forth by the Attorney General. And we hope that the Department of Justice does so also. There is no reason to kick down our door. We are proud of what we do, and we do it openly. Come, ask us, and we will invite you in. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to first thank everybody who has turned out to show their support, the patients who are here, the elected officials who are here, representatives of activist and advocacy organizations. We really appreciate you coming to our support at this time. We opened Haborside Health Center 6 years ago to demonstrate that cannabis could be distributed in a way that brings benefits to communities rather than harms. And since that time, our incredible staff has accomplished that goal and more. Today, Harborside is universally recognized as having set the gold standard for legal, legitimate, regulated distribution of medical cannabis. There is no legitimate reason to target Haborside Health Center. Amen. We do not. We do not fit into any of the categories outlined by the Department of Justice. We are not close to a school. We are not profiteers. And we are not out of compliance with state law. Now we are being told that we are targeted simply because we are too large. But the reason we have the largest number of patients is because we have provided the highest level of care and met a need that was desperately needed. Anybody who visits Harborside Health Center and sees the meticulous and careful way that we observe the laws of the state of California and the regulations of Oakland and care for our patients knows that any illusion or allegation that we are out of compliance with the law or doing anything wrong is completely absurd and ridiculous. No, this attack, if it's successful, is going to return many thousands of patients to the illegal market. It's street drug sales and law enforcement costs in Oakland are immediately going to rise when $22 million worth of cannabis sales goes back onto the streets. Over $3 million worth of tax revenue is going to be destroyed. And in this time of joblessness, over 100 jobs, our incredible employees, are now at risk of becoming jobless. Harborside has nothing to hide. Harborside has nothing to hide and nothing to be ashamed of. We have no intention of closing our doors. We shall continue. We shall continue to provide our patients with the medicine that their doctors have recommended. We will contest the Department of Justice openly, in public, and through all legal means at our disposal. We look forward to our day in court and are confident that justice is on our side. We will never abandon our patients.
You're here.
We have no intention of closing our doors. We shall continue to provide this medicine. We know that when dispensaries close, it's the most vulnerable patients who suffer the most, unable to find new sources, unable to navigate the dangers of the illegal marketplace. They will end up doubled over with nausea. They will end up writhing in pain in beds that they're too weak to rise from. They'll end up trapped in apartments, suffering from depression and anxiety so bad they can't bring themselves to leave anymore. We've seen firsthand how this medicine helps our patients. We cannot and will not walk away from our duty to help them. We intend to keep the commitment that we made 6 years ago, a commitment to provide the very best cannabis medicines in the safest and most legitimate way possible. We are going to keep that commitment as faithfully as we can, for as long as we can. And we are confident when the history of these days is written, that our grandchildren will be proud to read of what we have done. We are now going to hear from my good friend Dan Rush from the UFCW, which has really been courageously defending our industry. He's going to read a statement from Congresswoman Barbara Lee in support of this. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dan Rush. I'm the National Director of the Medical Cannabis and Hemp Division of the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union. UFCW is the industry union for medical cannabis, as well as other honorable occupations like meat cutting, agriculture, food processing, retail, textiles, and pharmacies. And we are the union of not just those traditional industries, but also the medical cannabis industry, which is predominantly retail, agriculture, food processing, and textiles. As long as we're here, we're going to defend Harborside, Steve D'Angelo, and other dignified and sincere, courageous people who are serving patients even at our own risk. I have here today a statement, and I'm proud to be here with you, Steve, as well as UFCW. Is proud to be here with Harborside, and I have to say Harborside is not union yet.
But we're working on it.
But we're working on it. And I think we're all determined to get there. Whether Harborside was in trouble or not, union or not, we're here with you. Our members are here with you. I have a statement today from Congressmember Barbara Lee. Unfortunately, she couldn't come be here today, so she asked me to come and read this. And she is a 30-year friend. She is my Congressmember. She does speak for me, especially when she casts the only lone vote to stop ugly wars, and when she stands up with us together with our patients, our workers, and our community. So this is Barbara's Congressmember's statement. As long as supporters of the right of patients to have safe and legal access to medicine that has been prescribed to them by doctors, I am concerned that the federal action related to Haborside Health Center, after the people of the state of California voted to make medical cannabis legal, thousands of businesses have invested millions of dollars in building their businesses and created good-paying jobs, paid millions in taxes. Today's action is nothing short of tragedy for the 150 workers who may lose their good-paying jobs. I will continue to fight in Washington to advance legislation to provide certainty to our California businesses and patients, and to urge the administration to at least provide clarity they deserve. And that's from Congresswoman Barbara Lee. I just also want to say high revenues do not mean profiteering. Thank you.
Hello, everybody behind me. I do want to say it's an honor to stand among you. And Board Member Yee is in another part of the state, but she asked me to read this statement. I do want to clarify this is Board of Equalization Member Yee speaking in her capacity as elected board member, and she does not speak for the entire board. But Board Member Yee asked me to read this. The issue for Californians regarding medical marijuana is the same as it was when voters approved Proposition 215 in 1996, offering a way for Californians in need of safe access to medical cannabis to get their medicine without having to commit a crime. California's medical cannabis dispensaries provide this service under existing law, adopted by the voters and clarified by the legislature. Any problems with California's emergent legal regime can only be solved by regulation and taxation under color of law, not by driving these businesses underground or forcing them to exist in a gray zone of legal uncertainty. Clearer, not murkier, regulation will make more Californians safer. Cannabis dispensaries, such as Haborside Health Center, operating legally under California law, are not the drug traffickers. They are legitimate businesses operating under color of California state law and local Oakland ordinances. This latest federal action against Harborside is counterproductive as it relates to providing safe access to medical cannabis patients. In fact, this federal crackdown on every type of business that assists medicinal marijuana patients, from dispensaries to advertisers, landlords, bankers, etc., does nothing to advance the goal of effective, rational regulation of medical marijuana. The federal government is attacking the resources any provider would need for patient safety, professional standards, and compliance with the law. California's 4 United States attorneys, in numerous public statements, have indicated their actions are aimed at, quote, large-scale drug traffickers, close quote, and, quote, not prosecuting seriously sick people and those who are caring for them, close quote. Harborside is one of those caring for patients in need. As many of these dispensaries struggle to operate under the cloud of federal limits, they contribute over $100 million in state sales tax revenues, in addition to substantial revenues to local governments. Moreover, these businesses are good citizens, providing living wage jobs, health insurance, donations to low-income patients, free services such as yoga classes, acupuncture, or chiropractic care, and other charitable activities. This federal crackdown on dispensaries who serve patients will eliminate safe access and drive the people who serve patients back underground where they pay no taxes, abide by no regulations, and provide lower quality products with more danger to patients. It is time for the federal government at the highest level to put a stop to harassing legitimate businesses such as Harborside Health Center. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have some copies in the back for the media. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Commissioner Yee, for your support and your statement. We're now going to hear from City Council person Rebecca Kaplan, one of our longtime and most steadfast supporters.
Good morning, and good morning to all of the patients and all of the advocates and all of our allies from labor and from the community, and good morning to all of you. My name is Rebecca Kaplan, and I have the distinct honor to represent all the people of Oakland on the Oakland City Council. This is a city of justice and compassion, and this is a city that understands that we need good jobs at living wages, that understands that we need the tax revenues to provide the basic services, and that we need to be compassionate to the patients. Even those who are not medical cannabis patients and are not involved in this issue understand that we cannot afford the money, we cannot afford the waste of law enforcement resources, and we cannot afford the loss of jobs that these types of attacks entail. One might think there was no crime left in America, that there are extra hardcore federal law enforcement resources available to do nothing but go after these non-threatening people. And very sadly, it's not true that there's no crime left in America. And it's not true that there's no crime left in Oakland. We desperately need help going after the illegal gun dealers. The illegal guns are being shipped interstate into Oakland from other jurisdictions. That is something that does need federal intervention. The guns aren't manufactured in Oakland, the gun stores aren't in Oakland. To stop the shootings, we need to stop the flow of illegal guns into our city. That is an interstate issue. That is a federal issue. That is a public safety. And so any extra time that is available, any federal prosecutors, any federal agents who have time to work on something that causes no threat to public safety, please, we need those resources devoted to stopping the shootings, stopping the violence, and stopping the killing. That should be everyone's clear priority. And that is something upon which my constituents feel very, very strongly. Now, we also have the fact that one of our licensed local businesses is being maligned and attacked. Harborside Health Center operates in compliance with the law, and they pay their taxes, and they employ people properly, and they keep their premises clean, and they don't cause crime, and they don't cause violence. And so we need to get clear about what our priorities are and what it takes to have a community where we keep people safe and where we use our resources the way they're needed. And, you know, it's an interesting question. How should law enforcement figure out where to target? I mean, after all, there have been some cities that have complained about out-of-control, unlicensed dispensaries. Is the federal government going to now come out with standards? You know, they have to be more than a certain size, but less than a certain size, and painted a particular color. The easiest way to know which ones are causing problems is to ask the local officials. In Los Angeles and San Diego, there are unpermitted dispensaries running amok, and the local city officials are trying to shut them down, but don't have the resources. If there are federal agents who what they work on is cannabis dispensaries, please, all we need from the federal government is that you check with the local officials to know which ones are causing trouble and which ones aren't. That would solve all the problems. The cities that have ones that are causing trouble could get help dealing with them, and they would know how to not target law-abiding, responsible businesses and facilities and nonprofits in our communities. This is also an issue of democracy, and as the elected representative representing the entire city of Oakland, our city voted to authorize medical cannabis by over 80% of the vote. That was a ballot measure that passed statewide in the state of California and is the law of the land, a duly enacted law of the state of California. So besides good use of law enforcement resources and besides compassion, this is also about democracy. And I'm honored to stand up for the fact that this is the law here, and we need to have an effective, regulated way that we enforce the law that was passed by the voters of California. That's what cities can do and have begun to do throughout California. And if we work together, we absolutely can devote the law enforcement resources where they're needed and enable reasonable regulation and the ability to provide compassionate service to the patients in need. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for being that
voice. This is coming from a father that loves his son. I don't know how else to tell you this, but this is what saved my son's life My son had a seizure every single day for the last 4.5 years of his life. The first time I ever gave him medical cannabis was the first time he ever went seizure-free in his life. Can you imagine your kids having seizures every single day, being in pain 12 to 14 hours a day, crying, screaming? My son's tried 12 different medications from around the world, 2 that weren't FDA approved, and they didn't work. They just caused more problems. My son's taken 25,000 pills and he's 5 years old. That's ridiculous. Seeing my son suffer like this, not get to enjoy life. I've been to birthday parties seeing my son not have fun while other kids are having fun. I'm running to the ambulance or calling 911, seeing my son suffer. Well, things have changed since I started using medical cannabis. I got him down from 22 pills a day down to 4 right now. He's functioning better. I have documentation. I have video evidence of him changing as a human being. His eye contact's getting better. I get emails from his teachers telling me how good he's doing and what they're seeing the difference, comprehending. I wish my son could say, I love you. That's my true goal. But right now I'm happy with him. When he looks in my eyes and I tell him, give me a kiss, he could give me a kiss now. Can you imagine your kid not giving you a kiss? I've been blessed. God's shown me the way. This is a plant. It even says in the Bible, and I am a Christian, Genesis 1:29 and 1:30, use my plant, use my seed. And it's been working fantastic for my son. It's changed his life. From being in an ambulance 45 times, he hasn't been in an ambulance since I started CBD. Last April and May, I was losing it myself. I didn't know how I could see my son suffer like that every day. Thank God. God gave me cannabis to help my son. Please, Miss Hag, have some compassion. Don't let me lose my son. Please, Obama, Mitt Romney, whoever you guys are out there, we need your help. I love my son. I love you. I just got a couple more things to say. I've been to 50 different dispensaries all over California, looking for help for my son. The only person that knew what they're talking about, that knows the different things of the test and percentages, and it's all about the science. And to save my son's life, we've done a lot of trial and error until we figured out what's helping him out. There's other children that are on it. I get emails from across the world. I've got emails from Australia, Israel, Japan, every country you could think of asking for hope, for help, because they're suffering. Seeing your kids suffer every single day is the worst thing in your life. There's nothing worse than that. I wish I could take away the pain. At least I'm taking away some of it. My son's happy now. He gets to swim. He used to look at a swimming pool and have a seizure. Now he can swim for 2 hours. What a difference in life. Not just that, the whole family feels better. We do have hope. Before no one had hope, and now other parents are getting on it, and all the kids are doing better. With Harborside, not just are they compassionate, they know what they're talking about. This is a real medical marijuana facility. Like the other lady was saying earlier about the ones in LA, I've been to the ones in LA. They have no idea what they're talking about. And I'm being serious, because I walked in there and I'm very educated about this because I'm trying to save my son's life. And they have no idea what they're talking about. When I go here, we work together to learn and understand what can we do to help things better. And being compassionate, I mean, thank God for them. If it wasn't for them, I'd be in an insane asylum. I don't know if I'd even have my son right now. So thank God for Harborside, Steve and Andrew, and please, one more time, Obama, if you're hearing this, Mitt Romney, I don't know who it is out there, please help us. Don't let us suffer. Don't let the kids suffer. Thank you very much.
This is one of the reasons, one of the many thousands of reasons that we will never abandon our patients. We're going to have a short statement from Sue Taylor, and then we're going to open it up for questions.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Sue Taylor, and I'm a patient at Haborside Health Center. I'm also a wellness and health advocate. I also do senior outreach for alternative medicines. I'm also on the Commission for Aging for Alameda County. And I stand before you here today to tell you if Harborside Health Center closes, It's a direct insult to seniors. It's a direct insult to seniors as well as our veterans. Harborside Health Center has answered the pharmaceutical drug options. They provide holistic services and holistic medicines to seniors. I can get out of bed. I can work. I'm not only speaking for myself, I'm speaking for every other senior that can't be here. We're the forgotten ones. Harborside Health Center has not forgotten about the seniors. About the seniors. You must look at what's really going on here. It's about health and wellness. We're messing with the pharmaceutical drug money. Health and wellness is provided. It's about total health. They not only dispense the medicine, they have an array of holistic services for us that are free. They have counseling, they have educational classes. If I go to Stephen and say, you know, the seniors need this, it's in the place. They are about, that's what they're about, health and wellness for all of us. If they are allowed to close, what will I tell my grandchildren? What would I tell my 3 sons that were raised here in Oakland? That democracy does not work? This was voted on. Whether you use the cannabis or not, it's your level of integrity that's at stake here. They voted on it, they've applied, they responded. The staff at Harborside Health Center responded to the voters and created a state-of-the-art facility. They did everything just right. If they fail, we fail. We fail. The seniors, the baby boomers, they're attacking us on TV. They're trying to push every pharmaceutical drugs down our throat. We have to be smart enough to say, that's not for me, and only the health goes in my body. Nobody tells me what to put in my body. I am healthy. I don't take pills. That's what Harborside Health Center will provide for those of you who think outside of the box. And trust me, all of you will come my way. All of you. If you don't understand now, it might be too late. It might be too late. They don't fail if they close it. We fail. So thank you very much.
Thanks for your patience. We're going to open it up for questions now.
Steve, what is federal asset forfeiture? And the second part of the question is, why do you think the government is doing this? Is this politics?
Let me take the second part of your question first, and then I will let my attorney, Henry Wykowski, answer the first part. I think that the reason that the government is doing this now is because Oakland and other jurisdictions that have regulated medical cannabis have created a real alternative to the failed policies of the drug war. Instead of spending billions and billions of dollars to enrich criminal cartels, what we have done is we've created a system of regulated cannabis distribution that has taken patients out of the hands of the criminal marketplace, that has deprived street gangs and cartels of hundreds of millions of dollars, that has created hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue, that has increased the safety of our neighborhoods and lowered our law enforcement costs. These benefits stand in stark contrast to the failed policies still pursued by the U.S. attorneys.
And what is this asset forfeiture? What does it mean for your organization?
Well, federal asset forfeiture is a mechanism by which the government is allowed to seize and take assets that are used in the conduct of illegal activity.